Hey there, thanks so much for clicking on our video. I'm Melissa.
And I'm Ashley, and we are the hosts of Bible and Banter.
Bible and Banter is a space for real conversations through the lens of faith.
We hope to be a reminder that we serve a good God
who left us a living word
to tackle all that life throws our way.
Hey, so let's get into the video. All right, so this week we're going to be talking about our morning routine, which I think I don't know, as adults or young adults, I feel like now more than ever it's become super important, especially in my walk, my journey in life. I feel like whenever you set the intentions for the morning, it somehow goes throughout your whole day. So when you set out to have a really good day and make time for you at the beginning of the day, I feel like even throughout your day, if there's some ups and downs, things like that, your overall attitude or perspective is in a good place. So it makes the day go by not quicker, but definitely more efficiently, and I feel more productive when I have my morning routine, which essentially for me, I would define that as just time that you take for yourself before you go into work, before you get your kids ready for school, before you do whatever else for anyone else, you take time for you. So we kind of wanted to talk today about what we generally do as a morning routine to get us in a really good space ready for the week.
Yeah, some of our key elements, like these are the things, not necessarily like, okay, so we wake up at this time and then we do this at this time. So this is really just like, these are the types of things that we try to make sure that we incorporate in our mornings so that we are feeling a little more in control of our day, feeling a little more in control of our mindset, in control of our emotions. And these are kind of like the key things that we try to make sure that we squeeze in, whether it's, and it's not always necessarily like that 7 a.m. I'm at this and by 7:10 I'm right here, but it's just like, no, I try to wake up early enough and make sure I have time for this and this, because that's what helps me for my mental health, my spiritual health.
Absolutely. So for me, one thing that is just part of my own personal goals, I'm trying to be on a health journey. For me, in my mornings, I'll get up intentionally a few hours before I actually have to be ready for work to go work out. And so I will get up early to do that. Not every day, so don't be too impressed, guys. But, I do that because I feel good, not going into it, but every time I leave, I always feel accomplished and in a better headspace than before I went in.
And it's a release of endorphins too.
Exactly.
So you literally probably feel good.
Yes. So it's like every single morning I wake up, I'm like, why do I do this myself? But then once I get to the gym and it's like a little 30-minute workout. If that, guys, not anything that deep. One thing I would say is kind of like a quick tip when it comes to building your own morning routine is to think, maybe create 3, which sounds a lot, but I would say one where you're high energy, one where you're like middle energy, and one where you're low energy. That way you're not setting an expectation of impossibility.
Right, exactly. Because if you start on a high, you're just gonna naturally, the only thing you can do is go down.
Exactly. Because I'm telling y'all today, I get up at 5 a.m. I'm going to the gym, girl. I'm gonna run 3 miles. But some days I wake up and I'm like, you know what? I might do a crunch or 2 at home. Do a little YouTube video. Do a little YouTube video at home, and that's good too. That works for me.
See, and I'm on the opposite end. I start my morning low key. Like my morning starts out where it is completely silent. And one thing that I have gotten in the habit of, and I have my cup of coffee. That's the first thing I do. I get up, I make a cup of coffee, and I just sit on my couch in silence. Just to collect my mind. And one thing that I've tried to be cognizant of is not immediately waking up and looking at my phone, and next thing I know, I'm on Instagram checking my notifications. I'm checking my messages. So I do try to be like very, very disciplined in setting my phone down and literally being in my own headspace, like first thing in the morning. So I do start mine off. I wake up a few hours early just so I can start out just kind of, because what I can't do is wake up rushing for work, rushing to get ready, and then rushing into a situation. You feel like you don't have control of your day. It allows me to feel like I have control of my morning.
That's good. That's really good. And parts of that I also do as well. Like the same way I'm really passionate about my health journey, I'm also passionate about my spiritual journey. So after coming home from the gym, then I'll take that time to, you know, shower. And then at that time I do tea in the morning, so I will prepare that, and have my little tea, and like to have my quiet time then. And I don't try to be legalistic about the amount of time I spend. I think that when you're like, it needs to be a 30-minute increment or an hour long, you know, me praying to the Lord, it's when you do that, I feel like it already is setting you up for failure, because you're expecting something when, I don't know, maybe the Lord just wanted to show you one little chapter, one little verse, and we get kind of bogged down on like, oh, you just read one verse. It's like, yeah, but this verse, you don't know what this verse did to me, and like it really spoke to me in that moment. So I allow for the Lord to just kind of lead me in whatever. If you need help with that, I would recommend a devotional to kind of get you started and get you on the right path. And usually they'll suggest a Bible verse for you to read, which I think is really helpful for people who might need that little extra push or maybe some inspiration.
Yeah, and then sometimes, like, I think sometimes we feel like there needs to be like this like structure to how we read the Bible and study the Bible. Literally sometimes, like, and that's also what I do in my quiet. Like, I come, I have my cup of coffee, it's quiet, and then a lot of times I will pick up a Bible. And sometimes if I don't necessarily feel like reading it, I might just put on a sermon or something,
that works too.
And that's how I'll kind of get my feel for that.
That's good.
But I would say, like, even like if there's not a devotional that you have, sometimes like I'll pick up my Bible and I'll just kind of do a flicker through the pages.
For real.
Seriously. And then I'll see where I see things that I highlighted previously.
Same.
And then I'll just go and read the chapter from where because I highlighted it. It must have been good.
This gotta be good.
It's gotta be good. And I may just read that one chapter. Sometimes I'll read a little more. Sometimes I'll go scrolling and seeing any other highlights that are, you know, and try to get a refill of what obviously was good to me when I read it before. And a lot of times I'll end up like noticing another verse that was like really good that I didn't even highlight, underline, make note next to or anything.
Like,
so just know it doesn't always have to be so structured when you go into like, just open your Bible and flip open the page. Sometimes, like the other day when I did that, I had no rhyme or reason, and there was this one chapter in Philippians that just had me, and I read it. I ended up reading that one chapter a couple of times because there were just so many good nuggets, and I was just jotting it down, and I'm like, all right, Lord, I don't know what this is for. I don't really have if any of you follow me on Instagram, you know, typically I share some type of scripture and some type of message with it. I was like, I don't really know what I want to craft with this, but you have me reading this, so I'm just gonna read it. And it didn't end up being for content creation. I ended up having a coworker reach out to me that very day and say, hey, she hit me on Microsoft Teams that we have on our work software, and said, hey, do you mind if I call your cell? And she called my cell, and she just like ended up saying, I've been feeling very heavy spirited, and I've been and I just really wanted to see if you would pray for me. And immediately that chapter came to my mind. It wasn't Philippians, it was Ezekiel. And that chapter came to my mind, and I was like, that is why the Holy Spirit had me reading that over and over, because I pulled so much from that to try to pour into her situation, because it literally was Ezekiel feeling heavy burden and the Spirit setting him up on his feet. And so you know, you never know. Sometimes you think you're not doing anything for any rhyme or reason, but the Holy Spirit will still use you even when you weren't even intentional about it. I wasn't even intentional about reading Ezekiel. It just captured me, and it was from fanning the pages and seeing some highlights, and next thing you know, it was something to share. So you know, I don't mean to go on a tangent, but I just wanted to just like keep that in mind. You never know, like
that just goes back into like what it is to be Christian, in my opinion. I feel like everything that we do is never just for us solely. Of course we're beneficiaries of it, I feel like. I mean, obviously we get blessed as well, but it's to bless others. Everything that we do is for others. So it's just a constant community type of thing, and I think this is a perfect example of that. Of you went into your quiet time, you know, seemingly for you, and then ended up helping your coworker in that same thing. So I think that's awesome. That's just the way our God works. And I always just feel like, man, I'm really setting myself up for a better day because of that. And as weird as it sounds, y'all, even though I get up earlier, I feel like I have more time. And since it's really weird, but it's like I got up earlier, so you know, whenever you first get up, of course no one's just like super let's go, but once I'm kind of in that groove and moving and doing what I need to do, it really does just set your day right. Taking the time to make my bed in the morning. I didn't even realize for me that was such a big deal. It's weird. I read this book called Atomic Habits. If y'all haven't read it yet,
sitting over there. I haven't
please read it.
Yet.
But he talks about the importance of making your bed every single day. And at first I was like, okay, but you know, the logic is I'm about to go back in my bed, so why would I make it?
Which is the logic I need to get out of my head.
And so once I got out of that logic, it's weird, but it's setting your intentions for the day. Yeah. When I make my bed, I've had one task completed already. And then it just naturally, next task. So much, just me making my bed leads me to think, oh, I need to do this, and then I need to do this. Yeah. And then once I get these tasks done, I still have like a whole hour left before I even have to clock into work, and I'm like, what am I gonna do with myself? Whatever I want. And just having that time for me, like Ashley said, where you're separated from your phone, because that's my biggest little deep dive for sure. Right, and it eats up so much time.
Absolutely.
And having that time to just be with you, to just be with the Lord in your own thoughts, where you want to go. I take that time to journal. I take that time to think about what I want to do content-wise sometimes, or just don't do anything and just be. And it's a freeing kind of feeling, sensation. It makes you feel good before you start your
day.
I
know with us saying all of this, it sounds like, goodness, what time do y'all wake up? Y'all wake up 5 hours before your shift? Like, but no. But no, you can wake up 2 hours.
Yeah, girl, do it on your timeline.
Yeah, what you'll find is a lot of times, because you haven't really been intentional about the time, that's why it seems like, oh, well, I always get up 2 hours, but you have no sort of routine. You have so next thing you know, what's happened is that you scroll for an hour and didn't realize it. And then now you're rushing to get ready. But when you're a little more intentional, like, no, when I wake up in the morning, I plan to get this accomplished, and this accomplished, then you don't really have time to fill the space with doing things that don't benefit you in any kind of way. If you don't feel like because we say, oh, you need a morning routine, that means every morning needs to look the same.
Right.
It just means every morning there should be kind of almost like a theme to it. Like in that I know in the morning that if I want to make sure I'm feeding myself mentally, physically, and spiritually, these are the types of things that I'm going to be very intentional about my day, about my morning routine. Like I said, so if my morning routine is, I know that in the morning I want to spend time with God. That doesn't always look the same. So that isn't me. I know every morning I'm going to wake up and I'm going to read 5 chapters in the Bible. That's how you burn yourself out.
You do.
You know what I mean? I know spending time with God might look different from me depending on the day. Spending time, it may be that I just want to sit down and I just want to devour His Word, right? Like I just want to sit and read a few chapters and just really meditate on that. But then there are some mornings where I'm like, no, I can't. I may just need to turn on a YouTube sermon, or some mornings where I just need to sit and talk to God, unfiltered, not down on my knees, praying with tears, but just sitting and having like a conversation with God. Sometimes that's what I need to do. I need to say, like, look, God, I don't know why I'm feeling so heavy right now or on this day, but I just need you to move in my situation. I thank you for this, but like, let's just talk, because right now I feel like I've been having a lot of doubts in my life. I've been having a lot of, mentally I'm just not there, and I just need you to come in and just be my strength and my weakness, and that is my time with God. So so don't feel like the routine has to be so structured, but just intentional.
Absolutely, exactly as Ashley said. In most things, there's never just one right way to do a thing. Just the same way Ashley was saying, there's no one right way to come to God. Just because you're down on your knees and crying, that's one way to come to God. But just sitting on your couch as well and having a conversation with Him is another way. And neither of them is more right than the other. At the end of the day, you're spending time with the Lord. And I think that's the intention. That's where it's at. You having that time with just you and Him, where you're able to express any concerns that you might have going forward, any doubts, any fears, and then being there to understand it's also a conversation and listening to Him. You're like, God, how, why, what? And then don't sit there long enough to actually get the answers. You're like, anyway, let me go make some bacon.
You figure that out, Jesus.
Hit me up. It's like, I was about to, so that's the best part about your morning routine. It's for you. It's for God. It's for just setting, like we keep on saying, setting the intention for the day. Another thing that's important to me is also being as productive as possible. And I don't mean that in like a super menial type of way. I just mean making sure my focus is fixed. One, on who's most important, which is God for me and my spiritual journey. And then also for me, being a career-minded woman, also my career and the trajectory that in which I'm going in that. And so I have found that the less I prioritize social media being the first thing that I do in the morning, the more productive and actually creative I am within my job, which is a creative job. So it has been super helpful to just, I don't time myself or anything, but I like to just not be on my phone at all in the morning if possible. If I have to, then I will. It's not like, oh, I can't do that. I'm just like, you know, if I don't have to be on it, I'm not gonna be on it because I like to get my stuff done in the morning because I am a morning person. I feel like that's when my brain switch is on the most tight and I can just knock all of the heavy stuff out, and then I'm done and I can kind of focus on, you know, the things that I want to do, which is being on social media. So I found that the more I keep practicing it, the less I am addicted to feeling like I need to be on my phone, what's happening on my phone. And if you work from home, one smart way to make sure you do that is keeping your phone in a totally different room. I put it in my bedroom, so because when I can hear it from a mile away, like when it buzzes, even if I put it on like silent or something, not silent, but on like vibrate, I can hear it vibrate. And so I'm like still, you know, looking over my shoulder, like, well, what's going on? Because you want to know. But yeah, that's been helpful for me as far as content-wise, creativity-wise, productivity-wise. It has been helpful to just leave it in a different room. If you need it by your side, then of course have it by your side. But if you don't, then try your best to just leave it in a different room until you go on your lunch break or have a little mid-morning snack break or something, and then check your phone.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the same thing that I said in the mornings to keep me from jumping right on my phone, is that I make sure that that notifications are silent. Because just like she said, I mean, naturally when you hear the ding, like psychologically, you want to know what it is, who it is, right? And what it's about. So and the other way that I do that at night to shut it off also, so I'm not laying in the bed scrolling all night, is to have my phone has the capability, and I think most people at this point, there's to set it on bedtime mode, and that's even where it grays the screen. We're not going to get into that. The screen goes black and white. Get thee behind me, Satan. The screen goes black and white.
You know,
the nerve.
Anyone who's not a user, it's okay.
Tune her out.
They'll catch up.
Tune her out.
Guys.
Listen, as you can see, there's a lack of focus in the iPhone user.
Okay. Let's let them have their moment, guys. It's all good.
But yeah, and so, but with that means that I also can set it to when I want my phone to quote unquote turn back on. And so that's important, and I think, and that's really good that you leave it in your. I found that sometimes I'll take my phone and I'll put it in the drawer in the kitchen, because even I've found that even when it's not making noise, because I see it, I just want to keep looking at it. Like I just want to keep checking it, and refreshing and making sure, you know what I mean? It's just to have it in sight, but out of sight, out of mind. It really helps with, especially when I'm about to first start getting my day started, even for work, to be productive. Like next thing I know, I'll be logged in, it'll be 9 a.m. But if I'm still scrolling on my phone, next thing I know it's 10 a.m. and I haven't achieved anything.
That's definitely,
you know what I mean?
Like,
I know. Exactly. And so but when I start my day with all my routine things and then get to work, and I try to make sure I have like, these are my big rocks, little rocks kind of thing. So these are my 3 big priorities. And so it kind of sets my mind. These are the 3 things that I want to make sure that I do get started, finish. And then if I have time later, I'll hit some of these things. So that's what I would say. It's just like, don't enslave yourself to a routine, but just if you're a little more intentional, but not necessarily like to the second, to the hour. It's a little easier for you to kind of like, for it to just become your true routine, like you just do it out of like muscle memory.
Yep. If you're new to morning routines, I would say the best approach to starting it is start out small. What are the things that you absolutely have to do in the morning, and the things that you kind of want to do but don't really know? Just make 2 lists, and like, okay, I know I need to brush my teeth, wash my face, because otherwise my breath will be sinking.
Come on,
these
now,
are things I need to do. I want to do my skincare routine, because I gotta take care of me, care of me. But maybe I don't have to go run a mile in the morning. Like that might be something I want to do. Maybe phase 2, phase 3. But yeah, start with like the mandatory things. I definitely need to get all these things done. And make that your routine for then, and then add more stuff as you see fit.
Because what you don't want to, because the thing about it is the morning routine is meant to be self-care, like your form of daily self-care. This is when I make sure that my mind, body, and soul is fed. What you don't want it to become is something that causes stress. Like you don't want to be because you heard, oh, this motivational speaker said I really need to be doing this, and I need to be up by 5 a.m. and I need to do like, make sure like that you're not enslaving yourself to a routine, and to the point where it's no longer even self-care. It's just another form of minor stress before you get to the stress of your job. Like that's not what it's meant to be. In fact, by not doing that, that's how you are able to be more productive, is because you're starting your day out with a fresh perspective and like refreshed, and not like already bogged down and tired, and you done already used so much brain power.
It's true.
Before the day even starts.
If you feel tired before your day even starts, you've done too much. That's when you stop. That's when you've done too much. You've done too much. So maybe peel back a few things that you did prior to, and see how you feel the next day when you do less. Like Ashley said, you're supposed to be feeling refreshed, not like this is my job before my job.
That's
not a morning routine.
Exactly.
We are so thankful for all of y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching this video. Leave in the comments something that you do on your morning routine that maybe we didn't talk about today, or something that you
some
really
sort of element.
We are almost to the 3 digits, y'all. We almost have 100 subscribers.
So please help us get over the threshold. If you have not already started subscribing, please subscribe to us. We really want you to join our tribe. It really is nothing but love, joy, and uplifting.
All of that.
And also share. That's the biggest thing that you can do, is to really, like, whether it's just that you're sharing a clip on social media, or you're passing along the link to a cousin, to a friend that you think, you know what, you guys could, I think you could benefit from this. This is a really good topic that they're talking about.
Absolutely. So, and get that like button pushed as well, because that helps us with the YouTube algorithm. Then we push up to the top. You know what I mean?
Help us rise.
You can say I've known them since before they had 100 subscribers, and I'll be like,
listen, and just know we know. We know. We appreciate y'all, and we love you.
We appreciate y'all so much. So thank you so much for following us, and for watching us, and for supporting us. We are so thankful for it. Be sure to check in next Sunday, because we are coming back with another real and relevant topic. We are talking about everything, ranging from friendships and relationships
to career and navigating corporate America as a Christian. She was laughing because she always expects me to forget that line.
I just love how she asked me.
She wants me to forget that line, it'd be your own people.
I never do.
All right, y'all, but in the meantime and in between time, please remember that Jesus loves you.
We love you.
And you are more than enough.
Bye.